Oh God. I can't hear you.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind. You are in tune to right here to Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays with yours truly, Lady D and Mama Acid, right here each and every Thursdays. Well, a little technical difficulty. Yes, it was me. I'm the
And
one
me
who did the
rocking.
technical difficulty. I had a little technical difficulty. So you just blame everything on me. Everything is my fault. So I'm not gonna say anything more than that, Acid. Acid, your phone was fine. Everything was you were late, but you were on time. But but I made us extra late. You know, I made us extra late. So yeah, we kicking it off a little bit late, but
Okay.
we have
Technical
so
support
much
has to sometimes step in.
technical. So, but we have so much to talk about, and we're going to try to get just about everything that we can into there. The numbers right here is 706-955-2001. That's 706-955-2001 is the number to get us right here in the studio. Also, your to listen live on your telephone is 667-930-9036. That's 667-930-9036. Also, you can listen live on the web on our web page at www.dapowerhouseradio.com. That's www.da.powerhouseradio.com. Also, please go to our YouTube page, like, share, press the notification button to know when we're on. And we ask you to share, and ask your friends and your family member to share all of to share our YouTube channel. All righty. And a full program today. Want to say big ups to all of our sponsors: Honey Child's Kitchen, One by One Kia, Hingston Law Firm, Unique Total Care, Mystique Entertainment. We just want to thank each and every one that support us each and every week. All of the fantabulous programmings right here on the Powerhouse Radio. We do have the Bishop Blair Gospel Explosion coming on Saturday. The Lady D Show also on Saturday. Bishop Blair is 8 to 10. The Lady D Show is 12 to 4. And then Saturdays, the Gospel Explosions in the morning. And then we do have I Am Meta. I Am Meta with Medicure Daughter from 6 to 7 in regards to
I
health,
need to listen to
mental,
that.
spirit, and mind. So check her out. And then following, is all about the hot, all about love, nothing but love. For all of you lovers out there, if you're not in love, you don't need to be over here. No, that's just kidding. And you know what? And it's true. And when I'm saying in love, I'm not even talking about in love necessarily with a person, but being in love
Mm-mm.
with yourself. you know so you love yourself, you sit down, you meditate, you enjoy the vibes on the Sunday night from 7 until 9 p.m. with yours truly, Lady D. You have Cool G and you have Blossom. So check us out on a Sunday evening. And let me tell you, the big hot show, new show over here is The Kids Way. You have to check out The Kids
They
Way.
got more watchers than anybody.
You, did you see that?
Man, them kids are not playing neither. They have a real show.
They're not playing with Lolo.
Especially M Queen. She be running that show. And I love her little expression.
What she say?
This is how she does it.
What she say? Oh, she go like this.
She looks at you straight, like when other people are talking, she goes,
All right, all right.
she's paying 100%. She is letting you know that she is in the conversation. Not only is she paying attention, she's letting you know that it's important that you need to pay attention.
All right. So we have M Queen, we have Lolo, we have bite size, we have sugar bite size. She's just full of
Bite
life.
size is funny.
I just love her to death. Trust me, you all are missing The Kids Way. And then Wednesdays, it's all about Let's Gripe. So check out Let's Gripe on a Wednesday
Yeah,
evening with
big up to Les Gripe because they don't be kidding.
and Marcus. Listen, there is no holds bar. Even
Mm-mm,
when I'm sitting here trying to hold bars, they don't hold no bars.
that look, that Marcus, you can't shut him down. And to me, she ain't taking it. She coming with it. It's
All
like
right,
she save it up all week and be like, "But where was McKenna?
okay. Yeah,
Was she gone yesterday?"
she was having some technical difficulty on her
Oh,
end.
okay, because I be
Yeah.
watching for what she got to say because she just
Yes,
boom.
ma'am. Yes. So we just want to big up the programming, and each and every Thursdays you have Reasoning Thursdays with yours truly and Mama Acid right here on the Powerhouse Radio. So check us out as we continue to grow. I want to say once again, big ups to all of the listeners whom are listening throughout via whatever entity that you're all and whatever radio station that's carrying us. We want to say big ups to all of our partnering radio stations as well. Big shout outs to you, IATL Victorious. Big ups to you. Well, Mama Asset, we have topics. We have topics of we just want to send our condolences out to the Mooney family. Paul Mooney passed away, the comedian. We're going to be talking about Joe Biden, Israel with the Palestine and so on. We going to be I just wanted to throw a little something in there about the corona and the immediate about face. And we're going to be speaking about Ronald Green, alrighty, a young man whom was murdered 2 years ago. And we're going to get into that. Um, we're also going to get
And
into
Andrew Brown,
and who?
Andrew Brown
And Andrew Brown.
in North Carolina who got shot in the head in his car.
Okay, we're going to touch that as well. So yeah, we have a plethora of things here, and yeah, we're gonna kick it off. So what are we kicking it off with?
Person sent me a message and called me a Nazi,
Okay,
called me racist, said I was ignorant because of my discussions about Palestine and my feelings about what's going on with Israel. I'm Beta Israel. I don't belong to the Ashkenazi clan. I told y'all long time ago that this was going to happen because we start talking about what was going to happen at El Aqsa Mosque. Did it not happen? We've been discussing it for about 10 years. That
hmm
it was going to start at the El Aqsa Mosque and it was going to start because somebody at the Wailing Wall wanted to wail physically on somebody. So that's what happened. We're sitting here now looking at a corrupt leader of Israel,
okay,
Donald Trump's friend. So if we're gonna start, we want to start at the bottom or the top because we got garbage on both ends.
well, let's talk about this Israel since you started out there.
Okay.
Let's talk
Um,
about this Israel.
you had asked me this question earlier, and I really appreciate the question you asked me because it made me have to look into something. Well, since we started talking this afternoon, there's a ceasefire that has occurred between the Israelis and the Hamas party in Gaza. It
Okay.
was brokered by Egypt, and supposedly Joe Biden called Netanyahu for the fourth day in a row and said, either you're going to stop or we're going to have to get with you. Now, the only way he could get with him
Hmm.
is not give him that 720 something dollars, 720 something $1 million worth of weapons that they had already purchased that they don't need because they're only using them to kill the people in Gaza. Why is the United States involved in that?
Why are
To really look at that situation, we need to really look at some of our domestic problems, which include 60% of the domestic budget for the United States going directly to the Department of Defense. 60%. I had to correct myself because earlier I said it was 50%, and I went to omb.gov and I looked at it. The breakdown is 60%. It was almost 75%, but they backed Donald Trump out of a few things. Now, this deal with these weapons is from the Donald Trump era, and it was negotiated by Donald Trump and Kushner. Now, why are we mentioning them?
hmm
Kushner and Donald Trump negotiated this weapons deal. Why is Joe Biden standing by it, especially seeing that these weapons are being used to murder innocent civilians who don't have any weapons?
Yeah. So why is he?
My opinion, and I want to share my opinion on it first, and then I'll tell you what he says.
Okay.
My opinion is that he's a warmonger.
Okay.
Joe Biden is a warmonger. Joe Biden has never stopped being a warmonger. The initial the initial problems after Camp David and they got the Camp David Accord, Joe Biden didn't even support any of that back then. Joe Biden has never supported anything other than weapon sales, armament sales, deployments of military, development of more armaments, and really, he's pretty much he's a hawk. Okay, we tried to be nice last week and talk about him and the super predator bill and the Violence Against Women Act, and we kept it fairly mild. We're not doing that this time. We're just going to tell the truth.
Right.
He's taking bread out of the mouths of children. He's stopping Head Start from being funded. Who spends money on weapons instead of Head Start
Right.
and claims to love the nation? My
So.
question about Joe Biden, and this question is to you, Lady D.
Hmm.
I know I was forced to vote for him. We all were forced to vote for him. He was the lesser of the two evils.
Okay.
So I want to throw a little nastiness right on in the game. We got to vote, but maybe we need a third party. Maybe we need an independent party. Maybe we need to form the Independence Party. And the reason I'm saying that is that there are so many people who are sick of what the Democrats are doing because they thoroughly support giving Israel those weapons. And I don't support any of that. I was hoping that Rashida Tlaib was going to grab him by the tie and make him come down to her and Debbie Dingle's level because Debbie Dingle truly supports. Hey, let's gripe. Um, Debbie Dingle supports this demilitarization in the Middle East because John Dingle supported it, and she carries on his legend. Now let's just really look at this, okay? Every day we looking at the news, we seeing these kids in Palestine that are being murdered. We
Yeah.
seeing families that are being unhomed, since that's the new word now, unhoused, unhomed, whatever, because Israel is blowing up major apartment buildings. They even blew up the building that had AP and other news bureaus housed. A multi story, like 10-story building. They shot with precision. I mean, when I say precision, they targeted that building directly on that block and didn't hit another building around it. So you gonna tell me that you scared of people with slingshots and you shooting weapons with laser guided precision from maps that you are making every day, from drones that you are illegally flying over another country, and Joe Biden is not standing up against that, and he's claiming that he wants to see peace in the Middle East. What you think, Lady D?
I don't really have much thought on it. I just think it's wickedness all over. And for America to be supporting such wickedness, it just tells the character of them. No matter what president that I think that we have in, because they're all just thinking of um, uh, their pockets, the United States of America's pockets. And it's not a good thing because innocent, not just children, but innocent people are being murdered each and every day. And I'm hoping the president that that I did vote for would rethink a lot of what he's doing, including Head Start for our children here. Cut back a little bit on the budget. I understand, and sometimes you don't really know because the insurrection, as a matter of fact, it brings something to the forefront. Are we militarily really prepared? um do they really do need this money to get really prepared and to get um the right gears, the right equipments to protect the country?
The military, you mean?
Yeah.
Because you know I got some answers about that.
and and because it's the military funding that is 60%, and which that led for it to cut back on Head Start or whatever, and lots of other necessary programs,
Food stamps,
lots of
funding for
other
teachers' salaries,
needed.
hospital care, even
Okay.
funding for PPP.
Mhm. And I wonder if they're using kind of sort of this insurrection, and now and then again, look at the oil, the gas situation right here in Atlanta. Well, it was the whole southeast. And look at even that situation where someone was able to hack into the computer itself as well. Are we prepared for what these other countries out there? Is this 60% budget really necessary? And if it is, where else can you cut to make sure that these Head Start and these other programs are funded for persons whom really need it? It's a necessity. My children had the Head Start program, and
Mine too.
I really think that it gave them a leg up.
Absolutely.
And for them to cut that, I have a problem with that. But if, once again, if the 60% of the budget that they're taking for military purposes, if it's something where they are using it to really strengthen the United States of America, not other countries, not anything, but strengthen the security of the United States of America, then I could understand that money being diverted. But there are other things that are out there as well that can take the cut and give that money to the necessary other programs.
Let me ask you
Did
this.
I kind of sort of answer the question?
hmm
Okay.
What do you think about all the weapons and all the stuff that they got in stockpile that they're getting ready to destroy because they say it might be outdated? When have you ever seen an expiration date on a military weapon?
I wanted to say hello to Let's Gripe as well. Tonia, big up yourself. Yeah. Say that again, Acid. Sorry, my mind went to.
When have you ever seen an expiration date on a bullet or a bomb?
There's no expiration date. I
So
think
why are they talking about destroying them and getting some newer ones?
because they're not going to destroy
What are they going to do with them?
them.
Notice you got me sitting up because you got me excited now because I think we on the same page. Because you know where we going right back to. what they do with the weapons when they through with them.
All right. So we already have a thought as to what they're doing with the weapons.
We
Okay.
got proof. We
We
can
have
see it on the streets of Jamaica. We can
okay.
see it on the streets of Chicago and on the streets of Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. We already know that there's no such thing as destroying. There's ways to sell and to get rid of excess.
Wait a minute, you left out something.
What?
Vampire debt. You know I got to do you look, you can't leave out vampire debt. How you
Uh,
gonna leave out vampire debt?
okay. So I left out vampire death.
Okay, so we go into all these different countries with the military, right? And we leave all the equipment there that we took in. That means the planes stay there, the equipment, the buildings, the guns, the tanks, the jeeps. They set up a whole military in a country, and then they just like get on the bus and leave.
Yeah.
Who pays for that? Did I
Taxpayer.
hear you say the other country?
No.
Notice I'm rocking again.
Listen.
Hey, look, we need to just play Bunny Wailer, Rocking Groove.
Rocking groove. Listen. Um it's a sad thing, and I hope that our president, do the right thing. How
We
about
shouldn't say our president. We should say the president.
the United States of America president?
Hmm.
The president
Hmm.
of the United States of America. We just hope that he does the right thing. But I continue to pray for my brothers and sisters over there in Palestine. I pray for everything that's what's going on. Um, uh, Tania says, that's America. And Let's Gripe says that's America. And he cannot fix everything.
He should stop lying and saying that he can then.
But I don't think he's,
I want to keep his
I don't
list.
think he's saying that he can.
Why else is he saying I've been calling them for 4 days, telling them to stop, and they ain't done it? And I done told them that if they don't, I'm going to intervene.
Well, like
When
you
he
said,
said that, and then Egypt called him and said, "We need you to stop right now." Hamas got a call from Egypt, and they said, "We need you to stop right now." They
mm,
stopped as soon as they got the first call from Egypt. Why did they both stop? Why was Egypt able to get Israel's attention? We've been talking about this.
yeah, we keep going back to the Israel Palestine situation that's going on over there. And
But it's still back to the oil thing, just like you said. And I want to bring that forward because what you're talking about is something that is very important in terms of what's going on now. Just like they hacked the pipeline people.
Tania said he is trying. They did the same thing to President Biden. Give him a chance.
Oh, President Obama.
Obama.
I
Okay.
got it. You're right, to me. I believe that. But you know what, Tania? I have to tell you the truth. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I never trusted him. After I saw what he did to Anita Hill, I was through with him then. The only reason I voted for him was pretty much because we had no other choice. We didn't have another choice. So what I want to say is about this pipeline thing and about this hacking and about the military.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they know exactly who hacked the pipeline. They know exactly when it happened, and they know it's not the first time. The second thing is why they're not discussing the hackings of all the hospitals and the hacking of the CDC and the hacking of the water plants. Why they not discussing the hacking of the electric plants?
Well,
Why they not discussing the hacking of the nuclear facility?
you know what? I think that to be discussing everything will cause such a panic.
I don't think so. It's in the news every day. I'm just putting it all on one list.
Well, they're not. They. I guess in some way they feel that it hasn't impacted so many people. So with the pipeline, it has impacted the entire southeast. So that was broad, and I guess that was the lesser of the damages. But remember, last week and the week before, last week I had mentioned and said, if we cannot secure our gas lines, if we cannot secure the house, then what is are we safe?
Let me share
So,
something with
and
you
I
about that
and I
again.
also wait a minute, and I also said to you that what about our water? Do you remember that?
Of
Where I
course.
said our water is also it is also can be affected. And let's scribe Tania says Mama Acid, his counterparts has a lot to do with pipelines.
Okay, we got a pipeline that runs underneath the lakes here in Michigan, and it's called Enbridge Line 5. That line goes all the way across the United States. That's why in other states they are saying they need to shut it down because it's leaking. Now, let me say this.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about my past work, but I want to talk about this particular incident. I feel real kind of crappy talking about this too because I just think that people should not be in this position. We know when things are happening because we are working and we are watching changes. I'm talking about people who work in security centers. Now, I'm
Okay.
not going to talk a lot about my former job, but I'm just going to say that we used to sit there and watch things happening on the screen
Hmm.
all over the country because you know that we got May East and May West. Most people don't know that.
Hmm.
May East and May West. Do you know what May East and May West are, Lady D?
Is it the satellites?
No, that is our internet trunks. May East is the East Coast, May West is the West Coast. Now, when these people hacked into this particular pipeline, they hacked into a refinery plate. The refinery plate actually has a link directly to the company. That's how they got in. The deal is this: if all these companies continue to allow their base security to their companies to be wide open because they don't want to spend the money and provide adequate security, then I think the government should step in. And I believe one of the most important things, and I've been saying this for a long time, is that there should be a standard for all corporations who connect and transmit core data, which would be stuff like the keys to open up all these different refineries. Because you know, we didn't have that problem up here in Michigan. What happened was we got refineries. Anywhere where there are refineries, they didn't have a gas shortage. And let me also say this about the gas shortage on the East Coast: it was artificial. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying that it was artificially created in order to be able to jump the price of gas
Isn't that what
season to
I said?
season.
Isn't that what I said to you? They haven't raised gas for a minute, and they have to make back this money.
They
So
made that
what
money,
better way to do it than to shut stuff down and to raise the gas prices? And this is the excuse that they needed to raise the gas prices.
but they didn't do it everywhere.
And how they could leave their behinds open like that, that Russia, as according to them, it's alleged that it was a group based out of Russia that hacked the gas lines. Um,
They
Les
hack every day.
Les Scribe says, as I said, they are responsible for the hacking.
They hack every single day. They don't have a day without hacking. The deal is that it doesn't affect people on such a wide range that they are forced to have to acknowledge it and talk about it. When they talked about the gas ships that they were bringing in to the different areas in order to make it accessible for trucks to be able to carry larger loads of gasoline into different states, they
Mhm.
had to write bills to override limits. Certain things that they did in order to do this made people a whole bunch of money. One of the things was overriding these limits on highways. These trucks have to carry only a certain amount of weight because more than that weight damages the highways. Here in Michigan, we have that problem because they let trucks run through here with 100,000 pounds on them. Trucks shouldn't be carrying no more than about 50, maybe 60,000 pounds. When you got a truck carrying that kind of weight on concrete, the concrete
It's gonna
fractures and breaks and creates potholes, and the people in that state have to pay excess taxes to try to get that
correct.
concrete fixed because the money from the gas tax does not fund fixing the roads for the motorists. So what they did was they figured out a way that they could up the game. Dig this.
Hmm.
I didn't really pay much attention until I think it was like Friday. It was after we did the show. I decided to check petrol stocks, just curiosity, I mean,
Okay.
I said, what is going on here? When I saw the petrol stocks go through the roof, usually when there's a shortage, everything is par because you don't have enough to be able to go above that level. This time, the stock shot way up. Why did it shoot way up? Because they released what was held in storage. Don't forget, the United States keeps at least 1 to 2 years worth of gasoline and fuel oil in reserve tanks all over the country. That's why they were able to pull it out and ship it to the East Coast because they had some in Virginia. All they did was just take one of them tankers in Virginia and ship it down further past Boston. Then they shipped another one down to North Carolina in order to take care of what was going on down south. Then they sent one to Florida specifically for Florida. Now think about that. They got three big tanker ships. The government.
I
These
thought
aren't the oil people. This is the U.S. government.
I thought they paid a ransom and
They paid $5 million ransom.
yeah. Um Les Scribe says the Biden Harris administration remind me of the Obama Biden administration.
In what way? I would like to know.
In what way? You can call in 706-955 or 2001 706-955. I think I may need to send Tonia a link and have her to come on
She should. That would be wonderful
today.
because they've been discussing some of this stuff. I've been listening to them,
But
and
yeah,
they have been touching some of these things
point. That's it. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up.
on that gas tax. You know what's going on with that about the infrastructure, right? You know that's why the Republicans are fighting the infrastructure bill.
Because of the tax.
How much will they get additional? It's going to structure how that gas tax is used. That's the problem with the Republicans. They don't like to be structured. So what's going on with them right now
Hmm.
is they really angry because the way that the infrastructure bill is set up, they are using an expanded definition for the word infrastructure. That means they're including schools, hospitals, railroads, they're
Everything.
including the internet, they're including regular land infrastructure. So they're talking about a complete restructuring of
Everything. Hmm.
the United States, and that is what they don't want. And the other thing they don't want is they don't want to take control away from the Department of Defense because you see the Army Corps of Engineers actually are the ones who manage all these large building projects. It
Hmm.
has to have one of the Army Corps of Engineers approvals in order to be able to do it. So they're not going to be able to do a whole bunch of nothing if the Army Corps of Engineers isn't involved. And the Republicans are going to demand at least another 10% in the budget if they want this infrastructure bill. So, the infrastructure bill is reasonably priced. I think if they said $4 trillion, that's nothing as far as I'm concerned to rebuild America when you've looked at how the Democrats
It's
have
needed.
sat back and let the Republicans just crash every bridge. You got schools, the kids can't even use the bathroom, they don't have heat. We have a country which has been threaded through the needle of the Republican Party.
Okay.
And now we sitting up there watching them deny that January 6th was an insurrection. Do we go to that next?
We're going to touch that briefly because when I heard that it appeared that persons was just is they looked on
I
camera
love that word persons.
as if they were just having a visit at the White House. There
Okay,
was
well,
what was
what
that?
about the people that died?
Um, uh, Les Grice says, "Mama asked if the rich are getting richer and the poor getting poorer." That's
Every week we talk about that.
that's an everyday thing. Yeah, they're getting richer, and they don't care. They don't care. But it's for us
But
too.
wait a minute. One question she just She just brought about, oh boy, we were supposed to touch back on this about graft and how it's playing out across the planet and how we're watching it affect everything that's going on and about how the billionaires got so much richer during the pandemic.
Hmm. Oh, they sure did.
Look here, I didn't realize Jamaica got so much richer during the pandemic. Where all
Ja-
the money come from, Lady D?
Jamaica. I think we've been talking about that for a couple of years
They
about.
rebuilding Jamaica. Jamaica look like a new country now.
I don't know about looking. Well, yeah, some of those new bridge and all of that.
Super highways,
Yes.
big
Yes.
tall hotels.
Yes.
They
And
ain't putting up no
like
new
I said,
schools. They ain't doing nothing for the kids. They ain't doing no new hospitals.
do nothing. It's just the roads.
That's it.
And it's just the roads
And toll
that the
bridges.
tourists is that the tourists are using. Because if you go to the private roads, let me tell you something. Where my house is, to go up there, you are playing dodgeball. I mean, you're dodging every pothole that you can find.
Hey, you should put up a sign say, if me a car, you na come.
Okay, you're dodging potholes like there's no tomorrow.
Like you in the car saying,
Let's
take
China.
time every minute. Take time.
Les Gripe says China, and we've touched China and their investments into Jamaica, and what they're trying to do to Jamaica, and maybe we need to come back to that again another time again, Mama
We
Acid.
do.
Really,
Because China is using Jamaica for a shipment point. We didn't even know that. We done found that out now. And the fact that the Kenyans, I love y'all, Kenya. They removed all of the Chinese engineers from the building projects after they saw how the road was this thick.
thin,
It's supposed to be this thick,
uh-huh, and it was this thin.
and it was this thick. And when they tested it in different places and the road started moving when they was driving on it,
But what do I want to know? What do a lot of the countries even think about? I mean, when
President Kenyatta said that they offered to do it for free.
they're,
And then
no,
they came back to them later with a bill.
I mean, like when you look at a lot of the Chinese, just about all of 80% of the Chinese products, they're not good. So, I mean, for them to come in and to do roads and to do infrastructures and to do all sorts of things in another person's country, I mean, what do they think they're getting? They're definitely, I know they could never be definitely thinking that they're getting top of the line stuff. Les Gripe says,
I
uh-huh.
think that was Uganda where they said they had to go because they tore up that fish meal plant. They literally removed the plant and said, we're not having you come in here overfishing our waters so we don't have fish to eat. And then you're going to take the fish, dry it out, and send it back to feed your pigs? Nah.
Oh boy,
I
listen.
loved it when they tore that up. I watched the whole video. In fact, I must lie.
Okay, we
Okay, I'm gonna lie and say I only watched it once. We already know. I played it over and over and over and over, and then I went and had me a cool drink and came back and watched it several
because
more
you're
times.
obsessive. You're obsessive when you see things. You watch them and you blow them up, and I'd be like, that's
I
it.
have to see what's happening. So I'm like really penetrating certain aspects of what's going on. Like first I wanted to see what was the crowd doing and why were there no Chinese? Because this is a whole Chinese factory, a
Yeah.
complex, and they even have like places for people to live. Where were the Chinese people? Not a single Chinese person was out there, and it was just hundreds of people. It had to be more than 1,000 people out there. And when
Mhm.
they set the buildings on fire, I knew then I was going to see some Chinese. Not one. One Chinese guy ran out to try and jump in a truck, and a group got on him. Lord Jesus, it was like but on grits. It was so good. I'm sorry. I just love to watch fights. I can't help it. I'm a former boxer.
I see. I see. I see. Okay, so they're all over the place, China, and we know that their products are definitely not up to par.
Shoddy.
So I'm just waiting to see what's going to be happening to Jamaica roads and how long it's going to be drivable and so on. But and maybe they're going to do something pretty good for Jamaica roads because They're trying to move totally into Jamaica. So I mean,
I saw that too, and that kind of scared me, especially talking about they want to become doctors.
yeah, let's see what happens. So let's see what happens over in Jamaica, roads and all of that. Tania one says, "Would not want to fight you." LOL.
It would be fun. We could have lunch and get us some
You know what?
Kool-Aid, and maybe we could have a little conversation first, and then when you're ready, you tell me, and I just get on in there. I make it short if you want it to be short. We don't have to go on forever because I drag it out. I pull it out one hair at a time.
Okay, listen. Um, so we've covered
You know what? One thing you ain't covered yet that I swear you got to say, you
what?
got to hear me say it, and you got to agree with me.
What?
Kamala Harris stands behind Joe Biden every time she's standing behind him with her arms crossed like she is a capo, like she is ready to let some off. She don't need no security. She needs security to protect America from her when she get ready to let it off. Because I think she gonna let it off and not too much longer. I think she getting tired. But you can see it on her face. She ain't about that life, and she don't never smile.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
She
she smile,
she's
but it
facing a
ain't
lot.
really a smile.
She's facing a lot and a lot of backlash and a lot of. I mean, she's sitting back and taking a lot of the punches for Biden as well. But
But should she
I
be
don't know what her
doing
I
that
don't
when
know what
he
her
when
agenda.
when he was her opponent and she came out and explained to us who he was? Because I'm still gonna say I love the fact that she was the first one to talk about the fact that he did not support busing desegregation. Because she said I was a little girl that was there at that bus stop when you didn't support it.
Let's go say after she becomes president.
Let's pray it don't happen.
Then she's gonna kick some butts. But Mama Acid said, "Let's pray it doesn't happen." And I've spoke with several other persons who said, "Let's pray that Kamala does not become president."
Right.
Real quick, because it's 7:59 on the Powerhouse Clock. We got to do the top of the hour, and
And then we got to get to the real business.
we definitely have to talk about Ronald Green,
And
and
we got to talk about these police and this qualified immunity and this discussion with the Supreme Court about the N word.
we didn't. Yeah, we got to talk about that, and we have to also I really wanted to touch just throw it in there a little bit in regards to the COVID. So why don't we take a quick station break right now? Come back. Let's throw in the COVID in there. Let's throw in the Ronald Green. I think has to be last.
I think that's going to take a lot. I think once
That's
we
gonna
talk
take
start talking about that, we're going to be talking about that for at least 10 minutes because it's just so difficult.
okay. Okay.
I think the two of those we could put together, but we need to also remember that Ahmaud Arbery's trial just started too. So get your
Yeah.
station break on.
Are we gonna get the station break on? And
Do we get to hear some
yeah.
Don Minot too?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Do we?
I have
I
a
got I heard it was a new Don Minot out that I hadn't heard yet.
oh yeah, I played it last week before last.
Oh wow!
And I know I'm to get you the music. I'm going to get you the music. I'm going to get you the
Look at
music.
my face.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
One by One Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The One by One Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywankaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One by One Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. All right, we're back, and we just want to big up One by One Kia. They have a new product that is out that's awesome. And let me tell you, she was on the Kids Way on Tuesday, and yeah,
They got her on and we can't get her on.
well, I had her on the Lady D show.
Look, we need to have her on here to talk about this thing up going on with my head.
She's awesome. She's awesome. And she has a new line, a totally new line. And let me tell you, honestly,
Is it for troubled hair?
for troubled hair,
I need that.
I'm just not throwing things out there. The product is really, really exceptional. I mean, that right now is the only product that I put in, and she has a brush. And that brush, I don't, I'm very tender headed. And when I brush my hair, I mean, I don't feel it. Honestly, I'm not just exaggerating.
I need
The
that.
aroma of the shampoo and the conditioner, she has a heat cap. It's a whole complete system. So I really encourage persons, not just because she's a sponsor, but because the product is really good. And I'm not just, and right here on the Powerhouse, we don't just take a sponsor to take a sponsor. Everything that is being done right here on the Powerhouse is to feed the soul, the mind, the body, the hair, the everything. And we're trying to we definitely try to go on the right track as much as we can. So do believe that this is a really, really awesome product. And I fully endorse it. My edges, my everything. Trust me.
Child, I don't want to talk about, man.
I've been using the product for 5 years now, and I really, really, really endorse this product. Just straight up endorse this product.
I really
But
need some work. My
but
edges is going back way on back there now. I
just
can't even. I have to like try to figure out how to
just
comb my hair. I mean, look how far back it's gone.
just
I don't understand why that happened.
anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to drop these notes in here.
Another black woman
Um,
problem.
there was these are just some drop notes right here, and this was things that topics that were sent to me through the powerhouse radio at gmail.com. If you have a topic, you just send it. Yeah, we're gonna try to touch as much of the topics that are sent to us as possible, and or we will announce some of it, and then we will go back and see if we could go back into them a little bit. So some of them is girl fought off attacker trying to abduct her. And what she used was some slime. She had some green slime and she rubbed it on the man's coat, and that is how they found her. I
On
just want
his arm.
on his arm. I just want to encourage all of the listeners that if you can in your home, walk with your child to the bus stop if possible. Once again, we talked about this a lot. Form a group, form a group as well. Form a group
Hmm.
in your community where you all take turns to go on out there and to um watch the children. So let's get, our children is our future and they are our world. So
Hmm.
let's get on that. Also wanted to drop in there a 6-year-old boy was arguing with, this was in Jamaica, and a 6-year-old boy was arguing with a 16-year-old boy, and the 16-year-old boy, man, young man, whatever he wants to call himself, shot and killed the 6-year-old boy. How could
He's
you
an
be
idiot. That's what he is.
first of all, how could you be even arguing with a 6-year-old? I mean, like, that's just totally senseless. So I'm going to click on those. And okay, we did Joe Biden. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren's husband was arrested this afternoon on drug charges, large amount of cocaine, and he's being charged with third-degree intent to sell. Now,
And they say she didn't know nothing about it.
this is a mayor's
Maybe she
husband.
was busy at the office. He could have had his own trap house. Who knows?
Another
Men do things.
they they do things because it's not everything that your husband or your
You
wife
don't
does
know everything about the person who
that
sleep
you
with you.
know. Yeah, it's not everything that you definitely know with your husband or
And
your wife.
quite honestly, I don't want to know because I don't want to be accused of being your accomplice.
Okay, I definitely don't want to be accused of being anyone's accomplice in anything like this. Not at all. So
If I'm
yeah,
gonna commit the crime, let me just do it.
okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Also, um, a question was posed to us about Major Lori Lightfoot in the mayor of
Of
Chicago.
Chicago,
Yeah, whom was saying that she will no longer give interviews to any white or male um journalist. And
he
that
said it's misogynoir.
okay, so the question was, is that not racist?
I think it's stupid because she's the mayor. First thing, she could do exactly what Donald Trump did. She could just stand up there and refuse to recognize him. She could also say, we are only going to answer questions that have been pre submitted, and then we'll answer them when we're at the podium, and then we'll be through. We're not going to discriminate against news services. I don't like it. Quite honestly, I get where she's coming from, but I don't like it because I think she personally should be strong enough. Let me say this,
Okay.
Lori Lightfoot, I like your wingtips, girl,
Hmm.
but I'm going to tell you that if you're wearing that suit, you need to tighten up that tie because your wallet about to fall out your purse. And if you want to be a strong mayor and have people really believe that you run Chicago instead of the superintendent of police,
Hmm.
maybe you ought to get out there in them streets, Lori Lightfoot.
All right, all right.
You're a black woman.
I didn't think that that was I didn't think that was befitting of a mayor to
Mm-mm.
say that, because then you put yourself in that position of being viewed as a racist.
Weak and a racist
You putting
and
yourself,
sexist.
you're a mayor of everyone in that city. So you can't say that you are not going to talk to a specific group of people. You know,
Donald Trump did it.
doing the same thing as Donald Trump. So let's aim high and not low.
I don't know if she know Michelle Obama.
You know what
She
I'm
live in
saying?
a city, I heard. They got a house in a city. You think she know about them? The Obamas? You think
I
she heard of them?
I really don't know. I don't know if she's heard of them.
But one other thing about Lori that I want to say is that if she's so busy and concerned about Chicago, there's a
Mm,
couple things I'd like for you to do, Madam Mayor. And that
okay.
is first thing, be more concerned about your schools, the children in your schools, and the teachers. Work
Okay.
on that problem because those children don't need to be targets and neither do the teachers. And the second thing is quit putting so much money into the police and start putting some into the community. If kids had somewhere to play basketball or to go and do their homework, maybe they wouldn't be out buying fireworks and shooting them at the police
Okay.
because they bored.
Okay. That's true too. That's true too. I'm a firm believer in you give a kid something to do, because
Community support.
don't
That's what she was elected for.
do. They're definitely going to find something to do if you don't give them something to do. Okay. Wants to once again send out our condolences to the Paul Mooney comedian, the comedian Paul Mooney's family. Once again, I know you said you
Family,
don't.
loved ones, people like us who just love Paul Mooney because he was crazy and he didn't care about your feelings. That's why he said they did not want him in any movies, and Hollywood would not allow him to have his own show. And when he was a writer for some of the shows that really, really mattered, those shows were taken off because they were too true. One of them was the Richard Pryor show. Now, we also know that he was a writer for Dave Chappelle. He's a writer for a lot of people. But
Before
the
we
thing
go
I
into
like
that,
most
Tania
about,
said,
yeah,
before we go into that, Tania says Donald did it. But go on.
the thing that I think most embodies him is the fact that he didn't allow Hollywood to control his career
Yes.
or his persona.
Yes.
He was 100% genuine, and I loved it because you got the complexion for the protection from the a from the situation. I forget how that goes, but I'm gonna tell you that saying that saying stays with me all the time. And it used to make me mad when he was the ambassador for the N word and then he resigned. She is trying to get a point across. That's true. She is, but we don't know what point she's trying to get across, Tania. We really wish we did, because Lori Lightfoot could do better. She has a lot of community support, and she has a lot of support from other groups who truly support her simply because they want to see her succeed, like the the alphabet people, the LGBTQA people. I be messing up them alphabets, so please don't y'all get mad because I'm not a member of y'all groups. I just try to stay current, and I'm not always very current. But this thing that bothers me most is that Lori Lightfoot still has not said anything about the police murder problem in Chicago and about what's going on at that secret police facility where they be beating people to death. She's
Okay.
never said a single word about it, and she knows about it.
All righty. The next question, real quick, and then we're gonna go into Ronald Green because that's gonna be uh
Well, we got to talk about Andrew Brown in order to
Andrew
talk
Brown.
about him.
And
Yeah,
then we
and
got
Ahmaud Arbery,
put them in, we're gonna put them in all into
all
context.
three together.
But
Yeah,
and this question that was sent in, that is I think that would tie us right into there. You know, when is the bill going to be signed to combat hate crimes against black? And the reason for my question is that Biden signed the hate crime bill
for
today
Asians.
for the Asians.
After 8 months, it had been 8 months they had been working on it. Biden wasn't even in office. They were working on it. Listen, the hate crimes bill has been in the Senate, sitting, waiting to go for a vote for 3 years.
Years.
The
Yeah.
last time that we talked about it, you all probably remember that I got quite upset because I felt like Kamala Harris didn't do what she could have done. And I feel like Cory Booker, who I don't like at all, I'm just gonna stop being nice about it. He's he's a deflated basketball. Take him off the court, please. Get somebody out there who could really play. Him and her were the wrong two people to be working on this, and there should have been a stronger two pushing this bill because right now it's sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk with dust on it, along with all the other things that have been needed for support for America.
Mhm.
Listen, Mitch McConnell has all of this in his office. So, one of the things that we talked about last year and that we've been talking about this year is time limits on bills and why that is not a thing in Congress.
Right now.
Because Senate needs to be put on notice that when a bill is sent to them, they have X amount of days to
They,
review it and vote on it. And if they don't, they shouldn't be allowed to go forward to anything else.
but a
It
lot of
doesn't matter about the session.
but a lot of everything else definitely is like that. You know,
But
you
why did they put in all these people?
have
A good question. We went back through this about Merrick Garland and how he should have been on the Supreme Court,
Mhm.
but we didn't really talk about what happened after he got Attorney General.
Okay.
We haven't gone there yet, and that's part of this. The
That was
attorney
another
general has the
question.
right to demand that they take some action towards this stuff. A good example of that is why are they sitting up there having a discussion about historical facts when these facts have already occurred and we already have seen them because we all watched TV on January 6th and observed the history of America being made. We were all deeply concerned about it, some of us more than others. But I personally will say that I felt this was a time that America needed to pay attention to not just the leadership, but to what your particular representatives were doing at that time. I can say what mines were doing because I know, and they were not involved in that because they were busy making noise about it. Rashida Tlaib and my girl, I'm gonna say this, Brenda Lawrence is my representative, and she was indignant. They had to calm her down and put her in another room because she was ready to go for somebody. You see, Detroit women are different. We don't care really what you feel. We only care about the truth because your feelings are not valid. Your
It,
feelings don't verify the truth. The
it's
truth verifies itself. And if you're gonna come with something, we got something for that.
okay. Okay.
So knowing that they put Kamala Harris in this position with Cory Booker, Cory Booker is not a good debater. I don't even know why. I do know why they elected him, but I'm not gonna get into that now. But Kamala Harris knew that they should have at that point had other people who were on the same committee who could actually stand up because they on the rules committee and
Mhm.
said, listen, we're not going to let this just sit here and die. We're not allowing it to die in Congress. This is going to be discussed until we come up with a solution. Either we're going to pass it or we're going to explain to the American people why it wasn't passed. The hate crimes bill. Listen, that's where we need to be going right now. We need to be talking about that instead of why they overfunding the Department of Defense, who is passing down all their weaponry to people like the people who killed Ahmaud Arbery,
Mhm.
because we need to discuss that. And when I found out that they were in the National Guard, the father and the son, and they had military weapons that were issued by the Department of Defense, and they were Klansmen, and they knew they were Klansmen, but they were still not removed from active duty. You know, one of the problems with that is that Brian Kemp, being governor of Georgia, is
He's
going
gone.
to demand that we do a lot of work after he's gone. So right now, what we need to be doing is making a list of all the things he did, just like Donald Trump's things, and that's what Joe Biden is doing right now, is trying to go back on that list and see what he could fix. But the problem is this: they skipping over items. They skipping over items that for years. One of the biggest ones is the Civil Rights Hate Crimes Bill. The
Yeah.
Hate Crimes Bill should have been passed a long time ago because America has gone back to lynching people.
Yeah.
Not only lynching them,
It's
lynching
serious.
them on camera.
It's serious. It is very, very serious. Sometimes it feels like we're going backwards instead of going forward.
I think Brian Kemp heard you last week when you said that thing about Michael Render meeting with him because you said, I don't like his name, Killer Mike. I
Mhm.
think he heard you because at that point, they rescinded the Citizens' Rights to Arrest bill. It is no longer legal for a citizen in Georgia to perform a citizen's arrest, which is what they did in the case of Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have done it if Michael Render hadn't have kept talking about it. And Michael kept talking about it, talking about it, talking about it.
Mhm.
Then after they killed Renard Brooks in the McDonald's parking lot, and the Reverend Doctor Love of My Life,
Keisha, what's her name? Keisha. Red.
Keisha Mother Keisha Bottoms, Esquire. Esquire, baby. Give it to her,
Esquire.
Esquire. Give it
All
to her.
right.
She
All
earned
right.
it. If she hadn't have stepped down, Atlanta would be on fire right now. I really believe because I think if she decided she wanted to fight this, the people of Atlanta were going to stand with her and they were going to burn some police cars up and they wasn't going to be matchbox cars.
Mhm. Well, that's serious.
But the
That,
deal that really upset me was to see the former police chief of Atlanta now over here in another troubled area in Minnesota. Why did she go there?
I don't
Why
know.
did she jump out of the deep fryer directly into the eye of the stove?
I don't know.
I think it's something else to that. I think it's something else to that. We need to watch that. We need to put some eyes on that. People, if you in that area and you see her and you understand what's going on, tell us. We want to hear from you. 706 955 2001. Call in.
Yeah, call in. And we're gonna go into Ronald Green and
Remember Ahmaud Arbery first.
we could go into that and real quick. Just acid 1 minute. Okay, just 1 minute. Don't we not gonna go. Donald Trump, things are getting heated for him. The Attorney General of New York is now probing into things. Where's that going?
The Honorable Esquire
These are
Tisha
just questions
James
that are thrown
is
at me.
not playing, and
Yeah.
she got the paper to prove it. So she switched from civil to criminal.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens.
Was that
'Cause
less than 1 minute?
yeah, because you made a prediction about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I think you made a prediction. We're gonna I'm gonna get a part of that tape back and play it back and let you
Hmm. So
um
people can see that I was right.
all righty. And I just want to say to you, well, not me, but I'm just saying to you that tell Mama Acid to enjoy her cicadas.
Cicadas.
Cicadas in Michigan. Yes, they said
It's
to.
too hot. They won't come out. I don't have a tree in my backyard, but them bad boys is making noise in certain areas, but they not out because it's too hot.
Okay. Well, I was told to tell you to enjoy your what?
Cicadas.
Cicadas in Michigan. And they may be speaking louder than you for the next 3 weeks.
That's okay.
I just
My air conditioning is fixed. I care less.
okay, we have a comment from Tania. The white folks don't want that.
They don't want nothing.
Your comments. Based of your comments.
I think they don't want themselves. Why else would they be buying all these weapons and killing each other? You know, I looked at the statistics since Lady D has suggested that I look at them, and she
Uh-huh.
was very right, you all. White people do kill each other a lot more than black people kill each other. I had no idea that these white men were shooting their wives and their kids. Like, oh my
It's
God, when I saw that thing that happened in Colorado,
it's just not reported.
right, it's not a big thing like they blow up what happens in black
Everything that
families.
black people do is a big thing. We're a big deal. We're a big deal. So therefore, every single thing that is done by a black person is highlighted. The only time it is the only time most of Caucasian people incidents are highlighted is when it's massive, massive shootings, massive, it's not something that is out there every day. And Tania says nowhere.
She's right.
Okay. Yeah. It's they don't highlight that. We are a big deal. Okay. So we just have to, and that's why we need to, conduct ourselves accordingly.
Yeah, I agree with you when you said black people. Listen, we really need to appreciate each other because we don't kill each other like they kill each other. And I was so shocked. But then when you justified it by saying go to the range and learn how to use your weapon, don't be a mistaking. Don't make a mistake and shoot someone. Know what you're doing when you got that weapon. And I
Mhm.
really appreciate you pushing that point through, Lady D, because that's what we need to hear.
Thank you.
We don't need to hear don't be armed.
No,
We need to be armed, but we need to be
armed is a
safe.
must. To be armed is a must, but you have to know what you're doing when you're armed. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make no any sense that you have a weapon and don't know it. You need to know your weapon. You need to know um what you're doing with it, the damage, the type of damage that it can cause, and you need to know everything about it. One more quick statement, and this one is from me though. Corona. It's just a statement. The COVID-19 is just a statement, acid, okay, I've been holding my statement for about 3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. So for my statement on this is I just find it so ironic that the other day that we were not to go anywhere without masks, even when you were vaccinated. And all of a sudden now that the vaccination has simmer down, is not so many people running to get vaccinated. All of a sudden now they're putting out there, oh, now you can take your mask off. Oh, now you can walk here and there with your mask off in order to encourage more people to go and do it. And I don't like that psych that is being played on people, period. I don't like that psych. And I think it's a psych. And also for persons, and it's alleged, let me use that word, for persons whom have already had those had corona, had the COVID. Let's write,
Twice.
it's a setup. It is. It is a setup. And they're starting to put everything on televisions about the stars. I'm just so, these stars, I just want to be slap them some of the time. You know what I mean? Because they're just, they're leading their people wrong. Did It's alleged that if you've already even had the COVID, you have the antibodies
In
in
your
you
body.
to do exactly what they're claiming that the vaccine is to do. Now, you are putting, I don't like the fact that they're putting people's lives at risk with this entire thing, because you're now telling people, oh, you don't have to wear masks. And then you putting it on the little people, so that people can protest and fight against them for going into people establishments. Just tell people, wear the mask,
Yeah.
period.
Wear
Because
it.
you don't know who had COVID. You don't know
Or what?
who have COVID.
They could
You
have
don't know who
tuberculosis.
had the shot. You don't know what they've had. And to tell people that now you can relax on the mask, okay, for them to be able to go and get a shot, I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. That's misleading.
It's very
And
disingenuous. It
it's
is.
you should not, the country, America should not be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to say that all of a sudden you can do all of these wonderful things where 3 weeks ago you couldn't do it.
But today is your body, your
But
choice.
because it's showing that the numbers have dropped in the amount of people now that is having COVID, they're having incentives, they're giving away foot,
Fish
baseball.
dinners.
I mean, come on.
Ohio got a lottery for $1 million to a person who gets the COVID
I saw
vaccine. Where the
I
$1 million gonna come from?
I saw that. I saw that. And they keep on not telling persons that the the COVID shot does not stop you from
From
getting.
getting COVID.
So how are you walking around telling these people that they should not wear a mask? I just
Okay, well,
sometimes I just don't get
you
it
know
all.
where I'm going with that. I was supposed to get my shot this past
Repeat
week,
of India coming. Yes, repeat of
and
India coming.
I
Uh-huh.
did not go get the shot, okay, because I had arthritis symptoms. Now, for people who don't know, there are certain types of internal infections that never go away. Arthritis is one. I've had it since I was a little kid. Rheumatoid arthritis never goes away. It flares up and it calms down. You can control it if you understand how with your diet or if you get on the right type of steroids, but I don't take steroids, so I have to be careful. But when I found out that rheumatoid arthritis is a trigger for the vaccine,
Mhm.
I
It's,
backed up.
it's a crazy thing. Yeah, there are millions, there are thousands of persons that have gotten it and everything is fine, and all of that. And I respect everybody's decision and what they're doing, and so on. But don't don't do I don't like what they're doing in
The
order to.
monoclonal antibodies don't work for everybody either
Exactly. Right now there's a woman that's been fully vaccinated since when, and she's
and
in
got COVID.
but she's in the hospital on life support. I mean, like, come on. Let persons know that it's no guarantee no matter what, because you don't know what it is. You don't know how to combat it. And that is why I had even said last week or week before last to Don mine it that you know, we don't know. And
Nope.
every day they're learning. Every single day, it's a learning process. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, I just choose not to. And to whom kudos
I'm
be.
not gonna get it. I finally decided I wanted to. I'm not.
But it's alleged also for persons who have had a COVID already. It's alleged, and it was a discussion. Why I even going that part of it is because it's a discussion that myself and my doctor had as well. You know, where she said, "Did you know, Lady D, that you don't once you have the COVID, you have in your body the same antibodies
Right.
of what they're saying that they're given to you."
The monoclonal antibodies are exactly the same.
Oh, it says here, Tania saying now they are saying is 94% that you can't get the virus.
On
It's
which
all
one of those? Because each one of them has a different number.
it's all lies. And then it mutates. It
And
mutates.
then the Johnson and Johnson is not the same from one state to another state because they actually changing the
The vac-
formula in order to supposedly do something to take in these other things that are going on. I just don't understand it. And then you got to get on a subscription service every 4 months. You got
Yeah.
to go and get some more. I don't think so.
Tania said only 4 months for both of the vaccine. And then
It's three
you
vaccines, baby. It's not two. It's
no, it's
actually four,
Johnson
but
and
it's only
Johnson.
three allowed in America.
Yeah, the Johnson and Johnsons, the
Moderna and Pfizer.
Moderna and the Pfizer. Yeah, so the three. But I just want them to give full information. Don't try to
Avantis, we didn't mention Avantis.
don't try to coax these people whom you say you care about to go do something that is not right. You put back the Johnson and Johnson,
Did
and
you
then you
know that if they take Avantis, the one that's given in Europe,
listen.
Avantis is not the same as what the it doesn't give the same effects as the ones in the United States do. And they say that if you vaccinated, you can travel everywhere. Well, I just found out from the airlines the other day, you don't have to be vaccinated. You just have to wear a mask.
And it's wrong with these airlines and these places that are telling you that you can't fly. Now the cruise ships are trying to say you can't come on their boat without. I know that the mayor of
They're gonna get sued.
Florida is not having it so
Right.
far. So I mean that's a good thing. And okay, Tania said not J and J. J and J. The issue I have with that is that
78%.
it the problem I have with that is that it causes blood clots. You know that, and you put it out there, and then you're going to tell people. Basically, they're telling everyone that dibble at your own risk.
I'm not
Dibble
doing
at
it.
your own risk. Everyone do what is right for themselves, but I encourage if you're going to do whatever you're going to do, research it. Research it to the best of your ability. Don't just jump and do something. Research it. And the way the antibiotics are work and the vaccine is working is the
Hmm.
same way the vaccine for the flu is working. You're gonna have to get it every year, but this one is now talking about every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, every four. What is it? Every 4 months. Ain't if they want you to get it three
I
times a
once
year.
again encourage people, look at your body, get to know yourself, get to know your inside. Okay. As I explained, when I was on my menstrual, I know when my egg is moving. I know when I'm ovulating. Get to know your body. When I realized that I had the COVID, it was just, I felt a little chill. And I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it was bought to me. It wasn't like I went out there, it was bought to me.
Well, I
But
went and got it.
anyway, um, I knew the change. I felt the change in my body, and I immediately started to double up on all of my vitamins, my zinc, my echinacea, my selenium, my everything. I just doubled up. So when I caught COVID, I had chills for 2 nights, and that was it. I didn't have any of the other symptoms. I attacked it before because I was able to know my body, know thyself. I
Hmm.
have a license plate that says know thyself. Okay. And it's know thyself in every form of way. Sandra Brown says they're just trying to use people to take the shot by saying if you don't have the shot, you can't travel to certain international places. Well, I don't
That's
need to go.
crap.
I don't need to go.
Because it
I
ain't no place yet where they haven't said. At first they said Europe, and
just as
that's why I started investigating it. And I called the Scottish tourism people and I asked them. Then I called the UK and I asked them. The
Yeah,
people in Italy, they still haven't gotten back with me. But Germany told me you don't have to have the vaccine, but you're gonna have to wear a mask, and when you around people, you have to be masked.
I
And
think
they are talking about the herd immunity. They say they know people from America are still going to be traveling, so they're not trying to stop nobody.
I think people are to just practice proper health, practice proper hygiene. There was nasty people. People were nasty a year, from a year ago. You
Two
know,
years now.
when I watch the television at the beginning of on the onset of all of this COVID thing, and they were excited that people were coming out the bathroom washing their hands. I was
Yes. How do you go in the bathroom without washing your
without
hands?
washing
I've
your
been
hands.
trying to figure
And
that one
people
out.
was just nasty. They were nasty. Sandra says people are feeding into all this information. And Tonia said nasty. Nasty with a capital T. As a matter of fact, capital. And Sandra says that they still care. LOL. Some of them was just nasty. So all it did was just show the nastiness of some people that are not washing their hands. You know what I mean? And it's so people just I just want to drop that in there real quick, and to just be aware and don't be misled, and investigate what you're doing, and take care of yourself. I am Meta is on Sunday nights from 6 to 7, and she's going to be giving you all some really really good information as to
Yes,
your
she
mind,
does.
your spirit, your health, just
Them vitamins and the minerals.
everything. So check her out Sundays right before All About Love, Nothing But Love. And let me run down our programs real quick, because I know once we get into Ahmaud Arbery and all these murders of our black men and women, I know we're not gonna have another. Well, maybe and we're gonna do it at the end of the show again. So just want to big up all the fantabulous programmings right here on the Powerhouse Radio. And on Sundays, we'll start. Let's kick it off Saturdays. And Saturdays, our next live program is with the Bishop Blair Gospel Explosion from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then it's yours truly, Lady D, on from 12 to 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Wasn't there somebody that came on before you?
No, what we used to do when what I'm going to get back to it. We used to jip and jive with
Okay.
our different programs.
Different shows.
We used to replay the Reasoning Thursday, replay Let's Gripe. We used to replay a lot of the programs between between 10 and 12. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I still come into the studio and do that. But some of the time I don't get to come in. Until my show, which is too late. But I'm going to get back on that, because we all are having some fantabulous topics on our program, that for persons who are unable to get a chance to interact or hear the program during the weekdays, for the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Tuesday, for any of the days, they'll be able to get a replay of those shows on Saturdays between
Mm-hmm.
10 and 12. And then yours truly, Lady D, comes on from 12 to 4. On Sundays, we do our gospel explosions, kicking it off at 9 a.m. with the Gospel Vibes crew, Lingo and the crew. They're on from 9 to 11. And then we visit Hope Redemption Worship Center from 11 up until 1. And then, we play some jazz and a little bit of, something, something between the hours of 1 to 6. At 6 o'clock, we have I Am Meta. So make sure that you check out Sisters Sharifa, doc, Medicure daughter.
Medicare daughter.
Oh boy, on a Sunday from 6 to 7, and then yours truly, Lady D, is on, and Cool G and Blossom is on with All About Love. Let me tell you, you gotta love yourself, love who you with, and get with All About Love on a Sunday night. Make sure that you check us out, and we've been having a really successful session on it where persons have been writing in and asking us to send a tribute to their special loved one. We've had a marriage proposal. We've had a breakup. We've had a person tell, so it's really good. Check us out. We have the colors and we have questions on All About Love. So check us out on a Sunday. And also
Do y'all have the
on
old lady
Tuesdays,
hour?
we got the old lady hour too.
Okay, what
Okay,
time
what
is
time
that?
is
I
that?
need
I
to
need to
call in
call
at
in
that
at that
time.
time. From on Tuesdays, we have a new program, The Kids Way. The Kids Way is with young adults, young children whom are the age of 11. All of them on the program is 11 years of age, and they're doing a fantabulous job. They're on
They are.
their third week right here on the Powerhouse Radio, and they're doing a fantabulous job. So big ups to M Queen, Lolo, Bite Size, Sugar. You all are doing a
They
fantabulous
are. This show is great.
so check us out. And let's gripe on a Wednesday. You don't
Yes.
want
No, you don't want to miss
to.
it.
You think Mama Acid is a no holds bar? No, let's
Oh
gripe.
no, y'all got to hear. Y'all got to hear McKenna, and y'all got to hear Marcus. Cause when Tonia come in, look.
It's a good
Okay.
thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we just want to say big ups to the Let's Gripe crew on each and every Wednesdays from 7 to 8.
Yes, my people.
Spread the word. Tell a friend, and two women against one man. I mean,
But
he
Marcus be holding it,
Marcus hold his own. Trust me, he holds his own.
and he be supporting them too. Now he
Yeah.
do. He be like, yeah, that's right.
And we want
He,
to say,
I love Marcus. I really do. I think he's just
and
he's different.
he's smooth with it. You know what I mean? So check him out on a Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. I did hear Tonia said they may be increasing it back to the 9. So we'll keep you informed on that. So as we continue
I'll
to
be
grow and
watching.
as we continue to add more programmings right here, and Thursday, it's all about Reasoning Thursdays from 7 to 8. And sometimes we go over as well up until the
It's
9.
really 7 and 9. We
We
just be on
ask
that early time.
yeah, we ask each and every one to please go to our YouTube channel, like, share. Listen, even the baby even the baby on the breast. Just make up something for them and let them go and like and share. And let them like and share and all of that thing as well. All right. So everybody that we're asking you, we're asking you, please share it, and let them know we're trying to get up there. We're trying to get up to over 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe and hit that notification button so that way that when we are on. So that's the what's going on over here. We want to say thank you to all our fantabulous sponsors, Honey Childs, One by One Kia, Hinkson Firm, Law Firm. We want to say Unique Total Care, Mystique Enterprise. We want to say big ups to each and every one that continue to support us over here on
Yes.
Powerhouse Radio. We have some comments, and then we're going to go right into um um uh,
The
Ahmad
murders.
Aubrey, the murders. We have Sandra Brown says they still care, LOL. Sandra Brown also says, I mean, they still are nasty. Okay, that's what she better say. They still are nasty. Les Scribe says, for us who are clean, I'm still social distancing. That's me too, my sister.
Hmm.
Definitely. Sandra Brown says, I listen to all your programs. They are very informational, including the children program. Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And Georgia's here says, sending you lots of blessings,
Thank you.
and we appreciate it. We need all the blessings, and we thank you for that. Les Gripe says, big ups to you too, my sister. Big up. So just share and like and let everyone know that we are here and we doing up our thing, and we're truth telling. We're a truth telling station with good music, good vibes, and good information. Ahmad Aubrey, go on into that.
Can we first mention that a pregnant black woman had her life threatened by police when they threw her on the ground, face down, and put their knee on her neck? That happened 2 weeks ago. We'll
Mm,
talk about that next show.
okay.
Now, Ahmaud Aubrey, the
Mm-hmm.
trial is going on, and they have decided that there is definitely room for more truth. One of the things I thought was interesting is that they brought in the trooper who was involved in arresting Ahmaud Arbery at a Walmart about 2 years ago. What they claimed was shoplifting, but they didn't find anything. They just basically harassed him. So that was the first thing that we had talked about what had happened with Ahmaud Arbery, which was where his so-called bad behavior started. He was with some other people. Somebody supposedly shoplifted something. They didn't find nothing,
Mhm.
nothing at all. Okay, now with the new information about the killers, we know that the father and the son were thinking that they had some special powers because they thought they qualified under qualified immunity for making a citizen's arrest, but there was no crime.
Mhm.
Okay. The third guy, who was the one who took the videos, who was driving the truck, watching and forcing Ahmaud Arbery into that cul-de-sac where they shot him down on the ground. You know, I think back on that now and I look at that. It was like a hunting expedition. I've been hunting before, and I'm going to tell you that it felt every bit like a hunting expedition. Like they just had something out there, and if they could have let the dogs go to catch it, they would let the dogs catch it, and then they would have shot it.
But that's how it was. They ran him down with a long shotgun on a back of a pickup, like he was a slave running, and they were trying to catch him. Come on now,
Runaway slave, right?
God.
Okay, so now they're being charged with hate crimes, and they're really angry about that because they say that they shouldn't be charged with a hate crime because he was a thief. He didn't steal anything. There
Right.
is no theft involved in this. They keep
Okay.
trying to say something was stolen, but the guy who owned the house has already said nothing was taken. The
Right. We
tape
know
proves nothing was taken,
we know all of that. We definitely know all of that. But
but
where
they still keep bringing it up, trying to make it seem like Ahmaud Arbery was the problem.
mm-hmm.
Okay, then
We ain't falling for it.
that is going to be going on for about the next 6 months
Mhm.
because regardless of what they say, they're not going to get a change of venue. Nope, they ain't going nowhere. They need to stay right where they at. They need another prosecutor, but in some cases, maybe you need an attorney on the defense, who forces the prosecutor to do their job. Because in this case, the defense attorney is really going to force the prosecutor to do her job. And she better do her job
Well,
because she's a black woman and she's being given all the power of support by the community and all the evidence. People have come forward to give evidence since they've been locked up
I'm
about the
like,
McMichaels.
I'm not into all these things because she's a black woman. She just needs to do what is right and fair, whether she's black, white, purple, green, or brown. They
You're
need
right.
to do what is fair.
You are right.
What about Brown?
Okay, now Andrew Brown Jr.'s case is a little bit convoluted, and the reason that it's such a problem is because there's so much going on in this case.
Mhm.
He had been telling people he thought the police were trying to set him up, that they were following him. He was a small time drug dealer in a small town. So everybody knew who was selling what.
Mhm.
When they killed him and they took his body to the morgue and it was examined,
Mhm.
they found nothing but bullets in his body. Now they came up with a new police report which says that he had a baggie of heroin and fentanyl in his mouth.
Mhm.
A baggie of heroin and fentanyl in his mouth, the size of a half a dollar, he would have been dead before it dissolved.
Mhm.
Fentanyl mixed with water, even if there was just a drop on the bag, just 1 grain of fentanyl, he would have been dead. I'm telling you what I know as a nurse.
Mhm.
Okay. I've seen people OD on fentanyl. It ain't pretty. He
Right.
didn't have fentanyl in his mouth because when they shot him, he would have bit down on the bag and it would have been in the blood and they proved his blood did not have any drugs in it.
I think that
That's the other thing.
anytime there's cases like these murders of individuals by police officer, there should be someone else in that coroner's office when they're conducting any type of, you know, examinations or anything on the
So
individual.
you don't believe that the coroner's office for the city or that county should be in charge of handling the evidence for a case that is
I'm not saying
directly connected to
I'm
that department.
I'm that, yeah, connected to that department. Yeah, I think there are to be someone else in the room to do observation of what is taking place at that particular time to make sure that they're
What about an independent autopsy paid for
well,
by the police?
that is definitely an option. That is
Well, the
definitely
family paid for the independent autopsy and it was released before the police released theirs. And the independent autopsy proved he didn't have drugs in his system.
that's an option. Ronald Green.
Okay. Well, to finish up about Andrew
Mhm.
Brown, we're going to see some real mess here because they're going to sue them and they're going to sue them not criminally. They're going to sue every single one of them civilly. And I hope they do it because I want to see them.
Yeah.
Now, Ronald,
And I hope that they get the proper forensic persons into
yes, I would like that lady who was at the George Floyd,
because
Derek Chauvin's trial. I would like her.
like how you said that once saliva or any type of liquid, blood, any type of liquid makes contact with fentanyl, it automatically dissolves. So how is it that if you were shot, you're bleeding through your mouth, your eyes, your nose, your ears? How is it that
And
there's
it's in your mouth.
the end is in your mouth? But then they're going to say it was in a plastic.
If it was in plastic, he would have bit down when he because he bit down when he got shot because his teeth were overlapped and one of the bullets when they did it had nicked coming out through the front of his mouth. So if it had been something in there, it would the bullet would have hit it.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm hoping that they have the proper forensic people them to review it. I want to get to
Yeah.
Ronald because I think that that's just an atrocity in itself.
Ronald Green Jr. was murdered
Ooh,
400 plus days ago by the state police of Louisiana.
ooh. I'm disgusted with that. I'm so disgusted with that
Murdered.
because of the fact that the video was leaked in
It
order for
wasn't released.
it was not
Somebody got tired and stole it because they said, "This is enough. We've had enough." They
to
still don't know who got the video.
it
I believe I know.
it was just
I
leaked.
think I know
Well, know what?
who got the video out.
Who got the video out?
The attorney for the cop who did the most murder, who committed the murder, who committed the murder, and who shot, who actually killed himself. Because after they told him he was going to be charged, 24 hours later, he ran his car into an embankment and murdered himself.
Mm,
Because he was on tape telling what he did, including, I hope he don't have a communicable disease like AIDS because I beat the F out of him and I'm covered in blood.
yeah, that was sad. That was
No, the
sad.
worst part for me, the part for me, all of it was bad. But the worst part for me was when he was dead and they grabbed his ankles chain and drug him face down across the ground and put him in the back of the police car when he was dead and drove him to the hospital after 9 minutes of him laying there dead and trying to pretend like he died en route to the hospital and he was in a car accident.
Okay,
We look
now
at the car and there's no sign of a car
we're putting
accident.
out a warning here. I'm putting out a warning here that I'm gonna get ready to show something, and it's graphic. And you know, turn off the screen if you really can't take it. But I think it's important to really show what, and for our listeners who are listening via the radio and so on, I'm sorry that you all are unable to see this, but we're putting it live here on
Mr. Green was, to some degree, even though he had just finished leading police officers on a lengthy and a high-speed chase, his inclination at that particular point was to acquiesce to what the officers wanted. Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back. Give me your fucking hands. Taser, taser, taser. Put your hands behind your back. You're about to get it again if you don't put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm sorry. What's problematic for me is that Mr. Green is now left on the ground, on his stomach, handcuffed in a prone position. And officers are trained throughout the United States that once there's a struggle of this nature, the individual's handcuffed, that you need to push him off onto his side or get him in a sitting position so you can allow that breathing to be unimpeded by his own body weight.
This is, and look, they're going to
And that
drag
didn't
him.
happen for at least, based on my calculation, 9 minutes, where
9
Mr. Green was left alone. And then when he wasn't left alone and he tried to get over onto his side, another trooper pushed him down using his foot against the lower back and buttocks of Mr. Green. And I didn't understand that. There was absolutely no reason for that. Under no circumstances should Mr. Green have been drugged by.
Now listen, I mean, being dragged by your feet, handcuffed. I really, and then the
No,
cop,
go back to where he was trying to turn over because he couldn't breathe, and he was saying, "I can't breathe," and they
it's
kicked
not,
him in
what
his
is
back to make
nine,
him lay back down, face down, to
what
continue choking in his own blood.
is this 9 minute thing with these police officers? What is this 9 minute thing when you're on someone's neck or they telling you they can't breathe and no assistance for 9 minutes? What is that? This is almost the same thing with George Floyd.
George Floyd.
We come back with the same thing. It is 8:58. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go maybe 5 minutes over, and then we're gonna wrap it up. As to the next week, we can continue as more information comes out as to this case here. We're gonna definitely continue to follow that as well. But they're saying the statement that the police officers made, I mean the police department is
The
saying
state troopers.
that they released a video that shouldn't have been released because it's impede the investigation. It's been 2 years.
445 days ago, y'all murdered
Impede
this
what,
man.
impede what investigation? After 2 years? Listen, I hope that family sues the Shabutskis.
Oh, they in the process of that now. But what really is getting ready to happen is
That
the
is going to bring back.
FBI
It's not going to
is
bring back.
investigating Louisiana State Police.
Yeah, and this happened in Louisiana, and it's sad. It is so sad. And
The other two cops are still on the job.
mm,
The only one that's not on the job is the one who killed himself.
it's
They
sad.
said they're taking one of them off the street now, and
It's
uh he's been working the whole time. He
it's
never had one day off for discipline. They
but
never disciplined him at all for this.
because
False
they
report, murder.
lied in the report. And I encourage each and everyone, go out and go research it for yourself. It's the Ronald Green um
Murder.
murder that occurred 2 years ago. It's just coming out. It is just coming out. The video was released, I think,
Yesterday.
I'm sorry. And it's 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 something to talk about. It's something to talk about and not to let really rest at all. So we're acid. Any final words before we go? And next week we pick it up right back here.
He didn't have the complexion for the protection from the situation.
He didn't have. He was
He
like
didn't have the complexion for the protection from the situation. To paraphrase Paul Mooney.
All right. All right.
R.I.P. Paul Mooney. I love you till I see you again, my brother.
Okay. And my last words is we ask each and every one to just continue to be safe. Um, aware of your surroundings, no matter what.
Wear a
Um,
mask,
wear a mask and
wash your hands,
wash your
use your sanitizer, socially
sanitize,
distance.
social
Don't
distance,
listen to these people.
the whole 9 yards of it. You all do what is good for you and your family, you know, because whatever it is, you are the one that has to live with it. So therefore, do what is right for you and what you feel is right for you and your family. All right. We
We
thank
want to send one special prayer out tonight, and we're going to ask everybody to join us for brother Mausi Algani and for the Algani family.
we ask you all to send out prayers for those who know Mousy. Long time, some 35, 40 years, long time. So you all keep him definitely in your prayers. Acid, we want to leave out with Don I See Trouble, or we want to leave out with serious times,
Serious times.
because it is some serious, serious, serious times. We thank you all. We loving a like cook food. And please be sure to join Bishop Blair Saturday morning from 8 p.m. up until the 10 o'clock hour. Yours truly, Lady D, from 12 to 4. Check you all on out then. If not, check you all out next week. Same place, same time, and the same station.
And I said, these are some serious
Serious
times.
times.
All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. To let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine
Man,
through the peaceful night. This is 7 time rise and 7 time fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. God continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. Oh, no, 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 no. So I said, these are some
some
serious
serious
times.
times.
All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is 7 time rise and 7 time fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. To some time we think it's peace and safety. It could be for sudden destruction. Say you wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times.